Hi everyone, my name is Jessy and welcome to another Table Talk episode, a video podcast series where I sit down at my dining room table and chat about all things life with you guys. In my last Table Talk episode, I shared more about how I journeyed from being a full-time employee to then starting my own freelancing business, and I briefly spoke about how I transitioned into becoming a full-time freelancer, but today's video, we're going to deep dive into all the nitty-gritty things that you need to know. The first step into starting your freelance career is to put yourself on different freelancing websites. As I mentioned in my previous episode, I started on Upwork and Fiverr and then later moved on to Creatively and Contra. I've had the most success using Upwork, landing about 4 to 5 clients out of like 6 or 7 when I first started out. Think of Upwork like a LinkedIn platform, but specifically for freelancers to network and pitch themselves. I do want to quickly talk about being extra cautious when it comes to getting scammed, because I was scammed once on Upwork, and that has nothing to do with Upwork's platform or their interface, because Upwork actually has great barriers in place to prevent people from scamming each other, whether that's like a freelancer or a small business. I was just very new to the freelancing world and I was new to the Upwork platform, so I didn't know any better. This happened when I was very new to the platform, fresh little baby just starting out, and these scammers went by an actual company's name. Like when I researched the company, they were a very known company within the States. And so I just thought it was legit because they were going by an actual company's name. But long story short, they messaged me a couple times and I had one call with them, which is also what threw me off because I actually had like a call with them. They basically were going to send me a check to buy some work from home equipment, like a new laptop. The check that they sent me was fake and I was scammed. Thankfully, I was able to resolve the issue with both Upwork's customer service and also my bank. If you are first starting out as a freelancer, just always be sure that the people that you were talking to are real people. Despite that one scam incident, I did secure most of my clients through Upwork. So as long as you are safely messaging and using Upwork's video chatting features, Upwork handles payment as well, and it's very safe to use. After a year or however long it took with the clients that I had through Upwork, we then decided to move our contracts outside of the platform, which Upwork also allows you to do. Emphasis on the contracted work. So even if you don't want to use a third-party website like Upwork or Fiverr, you could always ease your way into freelancing by researching contracted jobs on LinkedIn or whatever platform you like to use. Aside from Upwork, I did land one gig through Fiverr. I was able to network and connect with one person through Contra, and then I didn't have any luck on Creatively, but to be honest, I didn't really try. Most of my efforts and energy were used through Upwork. I really like the platform. Despite the one scam incident, the platform works great, guys. Now we're moving on to how to pitch yourself, the golden question. Let me start off by saying it is so much easier to pitch yourself as a freelancer than it is as a potential full-time employee. The reality of it is it's not that high of a risk for companies to invest in short-term freelancers than it is to invest in potential long-term employees, where they have to then figure out training and investing in your separate 401k and your health benefits and PTO and such and such. It's very easy and quick to network and pitch yourself as a freelancer than it is to land a full-time job. As a freelancer, you are disposable. In all honesty though, you have the flexibility and freedom to work with whomever you want as a freelancer, so don't get discouraged by that. You're the one selling the skill sets that you know you already have. So it's not about pitching yourself to some corporate man, but it's more so about networking and building genuine connections with other small businesses and entrepreneurs. Ask yourself, how can your particular skill sets help this person scale their business? It could be something as simple as doing admin work for a small business and handling their emails and organizing their schedule. Whatever it is that you want to do, you just need to pitch yourself as an asset to someone's company for the time being. If you stick around for long-term contracts, that's great. That's steady income for you. If you're only there to help someone establish their business within the first 3 months, then that's still great because that is extra income for the month. So no matter what, you're still going to be making income. There will always be someone in need of help with their business, no matter how big or small, so don't be discouraged if you don't land your first pitch. Now we're moving on to the fun and creative part, which is building your portfolio. I've never shown anyone my portfolio before, not my family, not my friends, not even my boyfriend. So Table Talk listeners / viewers, consider yourselves closer than family. For this portion, I'm going to screen share so you could get a little looky at my portfolios, and we're gonna start off with my very first portfolio. Guys, my very first portfolio was made on PowerPoint. You do not need any fancy website when you're first starting off. You don't have to worry about creating your own website domain and having like this super professional organized thing. PowerPoint or just anything that is quick and easy to look through and highlight your best work is all you need, guys. So this is my little PowerPoint digital portfolio. We're not giving much here. Again, this is when I had first left my full-time job and established a few clients and then started building off my portfolio from there. You always want a quick snapshot as to what you offer in your work scope. I even put all graphics created utilizing Adobe Photoshop and Canva. That's so funny. Next slide, I just put some examples of client graphics that I did here so people know that I have experience with graphic design. And I like them. They're cute, guys. They're cute graphics. Very aesthetically pleasing, each one pertaining to the specific brand image. I put my personal account as well, so if anyone wanted to visit my own Instagram page and see how I curate my own feed or what I'm up to a day in my life. These are some Instagram story graphics, and I move on to email campaign designs, and these I made using MailChimp. Move on to blog designs, and then I get into email copy. I highlighted some email copy that I did for a brand, and then I also highlighted some website copy. And then at the end I have a list of brands that I currently write copy for, but that's not too important. Then after I secured more clients and work, I decided to upgrade my portfolio from PowerPoint to Canva. Whoa, we're getting fancy now. And then I converted my Canva deck into a PDF format, so it was very easy to share between Upwork and emails when I was pitching myself. So this is my little Canva portfolio. And honestly, guys, Canva has a bunch of different portfolio templates for free that you can use. If you're really struggling on where to start with building your portfolio, I just recommend going to Canva and looking up any digital portfolio design and kind of just adding your own little special touch there. I have a little about me. Instead of like plugging my own Instagram page, I have a professional about page of what it is I do, how I started, different skill sets that I have. I really like the snapshot of different skill sets that you offer. I think that really helps a brand kind of narrow in on what it is they want to work on with you. Next, I have a little brand identity page. So this is just like during a consultation process, I'll help you revamp your brand identity and really narrow in on like your content pillars, etc. And then I have a better laid out snapshot of all of the different work that I've done. Again, I have the email designs, and then I have a little blurb about each one. I have email copy, landing page, website copy, and then I highlight different social media graphics for different clients that I've worked with. More social media graphics and copy. I have to update this portfolio. It's been a while since I pitched myself. Then I have feed curation, so I do quick snapshots of what different feeds look like that I've curated before. And then I have one of the biggest projects that I've worked on, which is this ebook design for this brand that hosted like sub brands. And this project, I shaved like 10 years off my life. I've never done an ebook before, but they just trusted me off the graphics that I've done previously to create this ebook. It was really rewarding to see the end result of it, and it's just something that looks really nice in my portfolio as well. I did link like a YouTube video to show that I have experience with long form editing, and then I linked another client reels that I've done before to showcase short form editing. On my final page, a little get in touch, so I included my phone number, which I will be blurring out for privacy reasons. I have my email, and then I have my preferred communication, which is always important to put because you need to let these clients know how you prefer to communicate. And that is my most recent portfolio that still needs updating. So like I said before, you don't need any fancy website. Honestly, you could just go on Canva and start your portfolio from there. But now that you're feeling a little suave and you have at least like 5 clients underneath your belt, now it is time to start thinking about forming your LLC. Now let me preface by saying that it isn't necessary for freelancers to have an LLC or operate under an LLC. It just makes it easier for you to keep track of your finances, in all honesty. But if you plan on being a self-employed freelancer for more than 2 years, then I would say it's worth investing in an LLC. And you're probably thinking, but Jessy, I don't even know what I want for breakfast tomorrow, let alone what I'm doing for the next 2 years. How do I know if self-employment is right for me? Reference my I quit my job to become a freelancer video, because in that entire video I talk about the whole entire thought process that went behind it. I logistically walk you guys through the pros and cons of being a freelancer versus a full-time employee with benefits. So if you're feeling on the fence about that, then be sure to check this video out. Real quick, for those of you who don't know, an LLC stands for a limited liability company, and it is for people who want to operate a business as a sole proprietor. You are the only person in your business. You don't have employees. As an LLC, you can contract employees if they stay under a certain monetary threshold without the year. Operating as an LLC means that you operate the business by yourself with no one else. There's no co-partner in it. It's just you doing all the work. Solo dolo. Forming an LLC is not as daunting as it seems, and I say this with full confidence now, because when I first started, guys, I was scrambling. I was doing so much research. I was reaching out and talking to other people who I know have tried starting businesses in the past or who are also entrepreneurs right now. When I first started, I registered through LegalZoom, which is this third-party platform that basically helps you obtain everything that you need when you start an LLC, from the documentation to the registered agent. They even have services to help you file your taxes as well. Starting an LLC on LegalZoom costed $500, and then depending on which state that you start your business in, you will also have to pay a reoccurring annual fee, but that is state dependent. The annual fee is typically to just ensure that your business is in good standing with the IRS. It's just legal fees that you have to pay. Don't be discouraged, because the money that you use to start up your business can later be written off with your tax accountant. Write-offs are essentially business expenses that you make. This could include office supplies, different software programs that you use for your business. If you work from home, it can involve a portion of your rent for your office space. If you work using your phone, it can include a portion of your phone bill. It's a lot of stuff. You can research what is included, what is not. You can ask your accountant just to double check. And all of these write-offs lead to lowering the total amount of taxes that you owe at the end of the year. And that is something that I will get into at the end of this video when we discuss taxes. Within this past year, I recently switched my LLC to a different state since I moved, but also because I was advised by my accountant that it is easier to operate in the state that I am in compared to the state that I was operating in. This time, instead of filing through LegalZoom, I filed directly through my accountant, who helped me with the paperwork. Filing through my accountant costed me $405, slightly cheaper than LegalZoom, and if I'm being completely honest, I preferred filing through my accountant than I did with LegalZoom, because LegalZoom's interface was just kind of complicated, and it also costed more overall. If you're just starting off, I definitely recommend going to your local accountant and filing through them. All right, now you have some steady clients underneath your belt, you've formed your LLC, and you have a steady income coming in, but you don't know how to keep track of your cash flows. This is where opening a business bank account comes in handy. So to open a business bank account, you need two very important documents, one being your EIN document, and the second one being your official business certificate. An EIN stands for Employee Identification Number, and it is one of the most important things that you'll need when you start freelancing. It essentially acts in place of your social security number. So at the end of every tax year, you have to fill out some forms with your clients that involve either providing your social security number or your EIN. And for me, I'm a very cautious person, especially after being scammed. I didn't feel comfortable sharing my social security number, so I got an EIN to act in place as that. It is free to obtain your EIN. You should never pay money to get an employee identification number, and you can obtain this by going to irs.gov. Make sure that the website ends in .gov so that you know it's official. Once you're there, you fill out a very simple form stating what you're doing. For me, I was operating as an LLC, but you should expect to get that document within like a week. Next, you'll need your business certificate, which is a certificate that states that you are a certified business within whatever state that you're operating in. When you register your business, whether that's through a third-party account or your accountant, you will also receive the official certificate also within the first week of you registering. registering. And that's it. Once you obtain both documents, scan it, make copies of it, and then take those copies to whatever bank that you so wish to operate with your business. You can weigh out pros and cons of different banks, as each one has their own set of benefits. Just sit down with the bank teller, you give them those 2 documents, you give them your ID, and then bam, next thing you know, you have a business bank account with your own business debit card or credit card, whichever you choose to do. And now with your separate business bank account, you can keep track of all of the invoices that you get, your expenses, and it remains completely separate from your personal bank account, so those two aren't getting mixed up. Oh, it's the most dreadful time of the year. Tax season. Tax season is so stressful as a small business owner because you don't have a bookkeeper. It's just me, myself, and I sorting through all of the documentation, sorting through all of the invoices for the past year. I have a pretty solid system of how I do it now. This was my 2nd year filing taxes, and it was significantly easier than my 1st year, because my 1st year I was literally Google searching what certain terms on tax documents meant and what exactly I needed. But that is why I'm here for you guys, to let you know everything you need to prepare yourselves for tax season as a self-employed freelancer. But let's get on with it. To file your taxes, you're going to need 1099 forms from all of your clients. Your clients will either send this to you on their own accord because they're ahead of the game, or you'll have to personally request your clients for those 1099 forms because, just like you, they're also all over the place. In addition to all of the 1099 forms that you'll be collecting per client, you're also going to need to create a profit loss statement. You could research easy templates for profit loss statements online and just pull whichever one you like. That's what I did. A profit loss statement essentially gives your accountant a snapshot of how your business operated throughout the year, including your gross income or profit that you've made through your business, and then also your business expenses. Then you'll need to fill out a taxpayer form. My accountant provides this form for me, so I can't really help you out in terms of resources there. Definitely ask your accountant for a taxpayer form. This is like a more in-depth version of your profit loss statement. It goes into other important information that your tax accountant will need when filing your taxes, such as your marital status, if you have any dependents, if you've paid for your own health insurance, if you have a retirement fund, all the nitty-gritties. That is like a 10-page document that you fill out and hand over to your accountant. Lastly, which I did very bad of keeping track of this past year, you will need any receipts. As much receipts as you can find that you have specifically used your business card for, you're going to need those. So whether you bought equipment for your business, whether you were networking and treated a client out to a meal, those you'll especially need. And I mentioned this in my How to Stay Organized Table Talk episode. My bullet journal finance tracker is my godsend. I don't know what I would do without this. I essentially hand log every expense, every invoice that I get, and this helps me get a quick snapshot of what my expenses look like, so it's easy for me to fill out the documents because all I have to do is pull data from this book. If you would like a more in-depth video of how I keep track of my finances and how I hand log everything, then just leave a comment below. We can get into my finances. All right, and that is a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you want to stay up to date on all of my Table Talk episodes, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button so you're reminded of when I post videos. Table Talk is a video podcast series where everyone has a seat at the table and we can just chat about all things life together. So feel free to also comment more topics that you would like for me to talk about, and I will be sure to make it into another video for you guys. And with that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!